Hello everyone, it's Mxiety here for Streamloots Strong. I'm a mental health advocate, talk show host, beginner game reviewer, and all-around curious person here to share with you my experience about mental health so that maybe some of it helps you. I'm not a professional, but I do know about taking breaks because I have been exhausted and burnt out in the past. So let's get this video started. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is streaming can be super taxing. The reason is you're on, you are excited, maybe you're not excited, maybe you're really chill, but either way, you're exerting a ton of energy to put on the best show that you can so that people are entertained and enjoying themselves and want to come back, right? So inherently that means that you need to take a break. However, Twitch, the algorithm, and just the way the platform works, you do better if you're constantly building and building and building momentum, and more people are coming and more people are coming and they're watching you game, and then you start freaking out. At least I did. You start freaking out that what if I take a break and they won't show up? I'm tired. I feel like I can't keep going. I feel absolutely like I am cornered into continuing to have to stream, and I don't want to anymore because this isn't fun because I'm exhausted. If that sounds like you, that sounds a lot like burnout. And if you're experiencing burnout, it might be time to take a break because it's a long term. So that is the first thing I wanted to talk about. Taking a break is super important for the long haul. Be a burning star, shoot straight forward into the sky, and then, you know, sizzle out. Yeah, that's a great way to go about it. You give everything you can, and then you're so tired you just collapse. And that is definitely one way to go about it, but most people want to stream for a long time. I've been streaming for 4 years. Now I stream only 2 times a week because I knew I was burning out and I wanted to continue streaming. So it was either I pulled back how often I stream because I also have a 9 to 5. So either I pulled back how often I stream or I would stop streaming altogether. So of the two, taking a break seemed like the better choice, and here we are. I'm still here. So this is me largely talking about my experience, and I hope it helps you. The first thing to note is that your community really matters. You need to set a precedent that you are a human, and then create and cultivate a community where you treat others with kindness and with a humanity, and then you're more likely to have actually a community that encourages you to take a break. Every time they see that I'm tired, or that I'm really pushing myself too hard, or that I cry a lot on stream, or there's a lot of indicators that where my community now knows, hey, it seems like you're really tired, please take a day off. For me, that's very hard to do because I only stream 2 times a week, so it feels like it's just, how can I justify taking off more time? But it's about the long haul, and having a community that's in there for the long haul with you is definitely helpful. So now that you have created a community that hopefully accepts you and loves you and understands that you're human, like, hey, even our phones need to recharge once in a while. You can't just constantly be working without a break. So now that you have a community that supports you taking a break, how do you do it in a way that is least hurtful to your numbers, right? That's a thing that a lot of us worry about, especially if you're trying to get partner or trying to get sponsorships. Those numbers matter to companies as much as we don't want them to. Those numbers matter to Twitch, and so we have to try to keep momentum as much as possible. So here is how I personally do it, and I hope this helps. I always make sure to schedule things in advance as much as possible. Do things still pop up where I'm like sick and I have to take a day off? Absolutely. But scheduling at least 1 extra day off a month in advance can do wonders to help you in the long run. First of all, it's something to look forward to, and research says when we have something to look forward to, we're more likely to be excited about the thing we're doing. So not only is it something to look forward to, but it also gives you a sense of ease that, okay, I'm kind of running this marathon, but I'm going to be able to take a stop down the road over there. So you feel like you have a destination to reach, you know? And so the reason scheduling is super critical here is it helps your community basically prepare. If they know what day you're going to take off, they know, hey, maybe I'll watch another streamer that day, or maybe I'll do something else. I know Mxiety is always on time at 6 p.m. Eastern, and I know she's there on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but this Thursday I'm gonna have to find something to do. Because if you've been building up your community for a long time and you've created a schedule that's pretty set, then the community has been relying on that schedule. You've created habits for them, right? Sitting down at 6 o'clock and watching Mxiety on Tuesdays and Thursdays is the thing that someone does out there, which is really wild, so thank you for doing that. But so sitting down and doing that is part of a habit. Giving somebody advance notice helps them do something else that day. And that makes a huge difference in how anxiety inducing and how likely they are to come back. So as much advance notice, planning them as far ahead as possible, those are all things that I do. I also have a Google Calendar that is public that I share. On that calendar, I have all of my upcoming guests for the talk show, but I also have my days off so that the community knows, hey, these are planned off far in advance. Again, does it still happen that I need to take off in an emergency, like I'm sick or something? Yes, absolutely. But as much advance notice as you can give, the better it will be. I'm also talking specifically about breaks that are like longer than a week. Yes, sometimes we have to, cancel stream and it's a one-off, but I'm talking about you really, really, really need a vacation and you're so close to burnout. A week is probably not going to do it, if I'm completely honest, but if it's at least a week, it's better than nothing. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that, again, you just give as much advance notice as possible. The other thing to do is to hype up your stream for your comeback. So whether that is on Twitter, making sure you stay in touch in the between times, or Instagram, or wherever you feel comfy, where it doesn't feel like a chore to be putting on, to be creating content still in your off time, and you can completely sign off of socials, nobody would blame you. But you can create hype before you leave, and you can create hype like 1 or 2 days before you come back by getting really excited, by saying, hey, I'm excited to come back, and maybe you can do little giveaways, or maybe you can play a game that the community has been asking you. One of the things that has been going around on streamer Twitter for fundraising incentives, having streamers do something good instead of like being bean boozled or drinking alcohol or something like that, right? So doing something positive. So maybe, hey, if you fundraise X amount, you can take a week off. And then after that week off, you either fundraise some more, or maybe you play a game with the community, whatever gets them, whatever works for you and your community to get them excited to want to come back. So yeah, making sure you're prepared in advance and then making sure you hype things up as you're coming back are two great ways to make sure your community still feels safe and connected. Another thing that's important here, I have leaned heavily on my moderators. I know not everybody has moderators. I also know not everybody has moderators that have time to do this, but I have asked my moderators before to make sure just things are hanging out and okay in Discord and just keeping the community together while I'm away. And that also makes a huge difference. After break, getting back into your rhythm is not easy for you either. So maybe check out our video on routines and creating a pre and post stream routine, making sure you get back into that routine, making sure that I find personally that scheduling things out is super, super helpful to me. So if I schedule out time in blocks of what I'm going to be doing that day, including a little block of time before stream, it could be 15 minutes of things I do before stream, it makes a huge difference in my day and it makes a huge difference in my performance. So in the same way, to get back into the rhythm of things, getting back, if you have a schedule already established, should be pretty easy. You just pick that schedule up where you left off. If you don't have a schedule established, then you might have a little bit of a harder time, and this might be a great time to establish a schedule for yourself after this break. And finally, I want to talk about my personal experience with taking breaks. It's rough. Actually, I have at some points lost half of my subscribers to breaks, and I'm not even that big of a streamer. I know streamers have experienced way, way, way worse and lost thousands and thousands of subscribers. But the thing is, the community that has stuck around, it always feels so important to me, and I feel so connected with them, and I see that they view me as human, and it kind of helps further that connection. The fact that they don't expect me to just be a machine and constantly keep going, that's gotten me closer to my community. They feel like I'm a person, and that makes me feel like they're a bunch of people, right? We're all flawed. We all need time off. We all need to feel good, and part of taking care of our mental health is not burning out as much as possible. I'm one of those people that rarely says no. I take on as many things as possible, but I also get really, really excited about upcoming projects and sometimes agree to too many things at one time. So I know that I need to schedule these breaks in advance, otherwise I'm just gonna keep running and it's gonna be like a freight train. Right now, I have scheduled a week and a half away and I'm absolutely terrified. Logically, I know that all this means is that I'm going to be skipping about 3 streams, but I also know that people are expecting me to be there and it's going to suck for me to not be there. So something that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I schedule a few tweets in advance and be sure to kind of keep track of news and stuff, because if some, really bad news breaks and you post a tweet that you scheduled that's really, not in good taste, be sure to watch for that. Don't just schedule a tweet and kind of forget about it. But I do schedule those tweets, yeah. And between that time, I might pop into Twitter and check it out, but I don't recommend doing that for everybody. If you can sign off as much as possible, even if it's just for 2 days, do it. In fact, I have made it pretty much a habit to sign off on the weekends as much as possible from social media. I just generally post less, and that's also helped me in the long run, I feel like, get as far as I have. Again, I've been doing this for 4 years, and I would not be able to do this if I had spread myself too thin and not at some point pulled back the reins on everything that I was doing at once. At one point, everybody was telling me how amazing I was and how much I had accomplished and how proud they were of me. I had a podcast. I was launching my book. I was having really great guests on. I was also doing stuff for Twitch. All of that was happening at once, and people were so excited for me and so stoked about all the things that I was accomplishing, but in the background, I was completely burning out. So all of my accomplishments felt like nothing. It felt like they don't matter. So I don't want anybody else to get to that point. So if I can share my experience and it can help you take some time and know that you are not alone, and Streamloots Strong is here for you, and my community is here for you, and I'm really excited that you watch this video. So thank you so much. Be sure to check out other videos in this vein. We have a video where we talk about burnout. We have a video where we talk about pre and post stream routines. Be sure to comment and let me know below, when do you know that you're burning out? Or also, when do you know that it's time to take a break? And when do you know it's time to come back from break? I would love to hear how you manage your time. And that being said, thank you so much for being here. And don't forget, Streamloots is here for you every step of the way. Have a good night or day or wherever you are. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye!